I don't believe that there are deer everywhere.
I
I don't believe
I
it.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
There
sure.
must not
So,
be in Australia. They must not have got to the island because they're murdering kangaroos left and right, it sounds like.
yeah, it's just wild, man.
All right. Episode 120 of the Fair Enough podcast. And I think we're a little bit wonky with our numbers here on the Spotify. We're going to have to talk to producer Jack about that.
Really?
Yeah, we missed an episode at the beginning of June. Like, I think that we recorded it, but it just didn't go on to Spotify. So right now, I just went back and listened to what is 118 technically, air quotes, but it's actually 119. So this is episode 120. Bob in Detroit,
Oh,
in Chicago. Producer Jack not with us. We are doing that. He's not dead, but he's not here. He's not dead. He's not dead. It'd probably be a bigger announcement with those small lead-in that I just did. But middle of the week here, I have Wednesday off for Juneteenth.
so do I.
Michael still moving on the job hunt. So the boys are here. We got a few things to talk about today. But do you want to get into your date at all?
Yeah, it's gonna be real quick because
Yeah,
it didn't
let's do
fucking
it.
happen.
Really?
Yeah, pissed.
So this date was supposed to be when? Tuesday?
So yeah, it was supposed to be Monday.
Oh, Monday.
So okay, and I'm not. So let me just break it down. I told her like it was like Friday, and I was going to Wisconsin, to like hang out with my sister and shit like that, be on a boat, yada yada. So we couldn't hang out during the weekend, and I was like, hey, Monday, don't matter what you're doing, like I'll pick you up, we'll go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And she's like, oh really? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, unless you have some crazy reason, obviously I'm not a psycho. You
Right.
can no, but if not, like Monday, we're going.
How did you meet this girl?
Bumble.
Bumble. Okay. So
Yeah.
doesn't know you then,
No, does not
outside
know
of
me.
just talking for a little bit, couple days.
Yeah, yeah, less than a week at the time.
Okay.
And she's like, okay. And then Monday comes around. We kind of didn't really talk that much during the weekend because up in Wisconsin, um, I had no service. So it was real shoddy. Had to like I was barely able to talk to her. And when I did, whatever, it wasn't anything bad or anything like that.
That
Monday
sounds right.
comes around.
Wisconsin sounds like one of those places. It's like South Dakota. It's like I don't have any service in Wisconsin. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." Like there's
Yeah,
nothing up there.
yeah, it's weird. And then Monday came around. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, what are we doing? And she's like, hey, I barely got any sleep, this, and the other thing. Can we do it tomorrow? Sure.
Mhm.
Of course. I'm not going to be like, no, hey. She was the one that was like, let's move it. It wasn't just like a, hey, I don't want to. It was like, okay, let's move it to tomorrow. Sure. Yesterday, we talking, and then like I get left on red at like, I don't know, noon, 1-ish, around that time.
Yeah.
And I literally don't hear from her the rest of the day. And it's like, I'm all about like a double text. I'll send you a double text, but like, I need to see you have some effort, right? Like, hey, like, just say, hey, I'm busy. That's all you gotta say. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever. And then I
When
can
it's
be like,
getting down
oh,
to crunch time, especially.
exactly. Like, hey, work's busy right now. I'll talk to you later. Cool. Then the next thing I would have say, hey, are we still on for a night? And then go on from there.
Yep.
But like when you don't get anything, I'm just like, well, fuck that. Like, I'm not gonna beg.
No.
So then it was like 9:45 at night, and I was like, damn, like would have been cool to hang out. And she was like, oh, I don't know. She said some shit about how things got busy and she passed out when she got home, whatever. And yeah, that's kind of where it ended up. And I just I've been kind of short with her the last like for today. Like, I'm not gonna be once again. I'm not gonna sit here and beg you, dude. Like, it's either we do this or we don't. I don't
Yep.
give a fuck. It really doesn't bother me. But she seems cool, so I don't want to just be like, well, fuck her.
Right.
So it's like it's the old like, hey, let's just go out and you'll see. And then if not, whatever. Then we stop talking. But like, why are we gonna do this? Like, yeah, we're gonna, and then kind of talk for a whole week or two, and then it's like it turns into this weird like, probably never gonna happen thing. Like that sucks. So I'm trying to avoid that. But yeah, so I didn't get stood up, but I got, I kind of took it upon myself to not like beg and pry.
Yeah.
And she never responded until later that day, and it is what it is. So nothing happened.
It's just weird that it's Bumble. Like, that was her choice to reach out to you,
Of course.
and that
And we've
shit
had
doesn't
really good
happen.
conversation. We've had really good conversation where it's like it's weird. It's just like the 2 days that we were supposed to hang out, she kind of went a little like ghosty, where it's like I understand if like for one you're not ready, something's going on in your life, whatever. Like, dude, just tell me though. Like, if you communicate with me, I'm so much more understanding about just being like, all right, hey, for one, do you need help? Two,
Yeah.
we can reschedule. Three, if you don't want it, that's fine. Just tell me. But this like that weird like going away and not saying shit for a little bit is very frustrating because it's like I don't know what's going. I have literally no idea. So it's like I don't want to sit here and look like an asshole, but and I don't want to give up on something. Oh, I think she seems pretty cool, so I'm not gonna give up on our conversation just yet. Um, but if it happens again, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, like
See ya.
sorry, yeah, like it sucks, but it is what it is,
Yeah, it's a fool me once, fool me twice situation.
Of course,
It's
and
2 strikes.
yeah, like and it's like I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want to just be like, hey, you're being kind of an asshole, but I also don't want to sit here and look like a fucking pussy. Like, oh, she can walk all over me. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. I thought telling her like, "Hey, no, we're hanging out on Monday" was enough for her to be like, "All right, this dude's not fucking around." Which she kind of was like, "Oh," she got a little submissive on me, and I'm like, "Yeah, exactly. Come
Yeah.
on, you know."
Come on.
uh, but yeah, it's just weird. It is what it is. I know, like she said, she's going through some shit, I guess, and I gotta believe her because I don't know her, so I can't be like, "Hey, no, you're lying to me." But
Mhm.
I'm not. Once again, not going to sit here forever and wait. Probably by the end of the week,
And
if we
that's
don't have
it.
something, yeah, I mean, absolutely. Um, but now that I'm banned on off the fucking on all the apps, I'm a little more inclined to wait a little while on someone because I don't have as much influx of matches coming in because there's only one app, and Bumble's the hardest one to get fucking matches on. I swear.
It is. Yeah. I don't know that I ever got a match on Bumble
Yeah.
when I was
So
on it for a brief period, but no movement on the unbanned front, hey?
I haven't tried in a while. Let me take a quick look. I'll give you a live update.
Let's run it
Uh,
live. Maybe you just
uh,
pop right in there. What did your account get deleted?
no. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I got banned. No, because yeah.
It'd be dope if you popped on there. Oh, yep. Your account has been removed. That's fucking wild, dude. And there's
Yep.
nothing you could do because it's your phone number, right? That's like
Dude,
attached to it.
so okay, so this is sad, but it's cause I'm jobless right now, so I'm bored as fuck.
Yeah, you got
And
time. Guys got time.
yeah, I've been golfing a lot too, which is nice. But dude, I fucking um I was gonna be like, Dad, I'm gonna make a Tinder account under your phone number and just just because. And I'm like, I'm not that desperate. So but it's like I'm
That would have
off
been all
work right
time.
now. Yeah, but it's like I'm off work, so I can be out here. You know what I mean? Like I can be
Mm-hmm.
out here doing whatever the fuck I want and like just being a hoe.
Yep.
But I don't really want to do that though. That's why I don't. At the end of the day, that's why I haven't made a burner account for my Tinder.
That would be sick, though.
I mean that I've seen. So this psycho bitch that I dated for like 2 months, a couple of years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I rematched with her on a different app under a different name, and I was like, what the fuck? And it
She
turns
was
out
a different name, obviously.
she made a new account under her sister's name, and then in her profile was like, oh, my account got deleted, and I'm like, dude, it's because she's fucking crazy. But now that my shit got deleted, I'm a little more like, maybe she just did something like, whatever. But yeah, so
Maybe she
people have,
literally did nothing like you, but if she's
yeah.
actually like, if you know firsthand that she's crazy, then
Oh,
she was probably
I
ripping into somebody.
she was probably stalking somebody for sure. She was
You
nuts.
think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
you will have that.
Yeah. but whatever. She was a cool cat, dude. So I chipped a fucking chip shot in the other day.
Really?
Uh-huh.
That'll help you feel good.
Still shot over 100, but
For
I
bird?
fucking for bird, yeah.
Nice.
Dude, 3 of my last 4 rounds I've had a birdie in, and I've still shot like buck 10 every time.
Ooh.
What a fucking joke, eh?
You just gotta, yeah, you gotta stay between the lines here. And I
I
think your
know.
score is gonna go down. That's all it is.
Yeah, I gotta get the irons working because the woods and the fucking my hands around the greens right now are fucking dialed. I'm not even joking. I'm not even kidding, dude. I was putting shots from like 40 yards in, like within like 10 feet all day the other day. Like I'm like, dude, my wedges are dialed. But
I
it
played
takes me
I I played today as well. Well, I played this morning.
nice.
Having Juneteenth off, having Wednesday off, I was like, I'm gonna get out there, even though it's hot as fuck. I don't know how
Oh
hot it
yeah,
is over there, but it's miserably hot. We'll get into
scorching.
that. We'll get into that in a little bit. Because I have a question for you. Just a social experiment that I want to know about because I've heard people saying this in the office, and I'm wondering what the cutoff is. But as I was playing today, tell me if I'm out of line here. So by the time I got there, I go up. I didn't set a tee time. I just kind of walked in. It's this little small 9-hole course. And I was like, hey, you got room for me? He's like, yep, morning was busy just because it was cooler, but now it's starting to open up because this was around 11 o'clock. So I get out
Okay.
there. He's like, there's a guy in front of you that's going to tee off here. And then you go ahead after him. So I was like, all right, sweet. So this guy hits his tee shot. It's a par 3. And there's nobody on the green, obviously. So after he tees off, he doesn't hit it well. So he runs and gets it. And I'm sitting behind him on the tee box, just waiting. He runs and gets
Mhm.
it and tees off again. Doesn't say anything to me. But right from the get-go, I'm like, oh fuck, this guy's not very good. I'm gonna have to pass him at some point. Obviously, this isn't starting very well.
Yeah.
So next hole, I noticed that there's 2 people in front of him. It's a boyfriend and a girlfriend are up there, and they're on the green. This is a par 4, and he's not teeing off until they're
They.
off the green.
Oh no.
And I'm like, because I saw him take the first few shots, I'm like, is this guy not very good and also doesn't understand golf etiquette and doesn't understand golf at all?
Mhm.
So he waits for them to get off the green, and at this point I'm like, fuck, whatever. If this happens again, then I'll say something. Not only does he mishit his ball off the tee again, gets it, but then when he finally hits it, he hits it up to the red tee box. And I'm not shitting you. There's a pond to the right. He slices 3 into the pond, Mike. 3 into the pond, but keeps placing balls down every time. He'll just re-hit. There's nobody on the green. There's nobody in front of him. These 2 people that were in front of him moved on. So this guy's he hit 5 balls from the same spot. I'm like, dude, you can't be doing this. At this point, I got 3 guys behind me, 2 kids and a dad. And I'm like, they're
Yeah.
catching me at this point. They should not be catching me.
No.
So this happens again on hole 3. We get to hole 4. I walk up to him because it's a long par 4. These people are on the green, the people in front of him. He hasn't teed off yet. I'm like, dude, in my head, I'm like, dude, you can't hit it 30 feet, let alone 350 yards and poke these people on the fucking green. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I walk up to him. After I see him mishit his drive, he goes and gets it like he keeps doing. I walk up to him. I'm like, hey, man, do you mind if I play through? And he looks at me kind of weird and he goes, well, I'm kind of backed up from these people in front of me. And I was like, well, dude, they were on the green when you got to the tee box. It's okay if you hit. You don't have to wait for them to be off the tee box every time or off the green every time.
Yeah.
And he kind of looked at me like he didn't really understand what I was saying, but he was like, okay, I understand. I'll play a little bit faster. And I was like, all right, dude. And So then he gets up there and he starts like rushing everything. And I was like, thank God he started it. Like his last 5 holes were probably dog shit, but fuck him. That was where
Yeah.
I stood. You can't go and get your ball and bring it back to the tee box and hit it 3 separate times when you got people
No.
behind you. Like that's just, if you fuck up, like that's just how it goes.
Yeah, or if you do fuck up, have a ball in your pocket, tee it up again, get in the cart, go get them, and that's it.
Dude, yeah.
Don't
I
run and get the ball. That's an insane move, is running and get the ball.
Yeah, and if we're on the first hole, you want to hit a breakfast ball, fine. No
Yeah,
problem with that at all. But yeah, you can't go and get your ball and then bring it back to the tee box and then hit
yeah,
again, let alone slice 4 into the pond and then hit a 5th and then be like, all right, that was a good shot. I'm going to walk up to this one. Like, I felt like a dick because I was like, I don't know, like, this guy clearly doesn't understand golf etiquette, doesn't understand golf. I don't think there was anything like wrong with him. I just don't think he understood the game and was new to it. So I didn't want to. I'm not anywhere near good enough to be on the course being like, get the fuck get off my court. But
yeah.
at the same time, I was like, dude, it is 92 degrees outside. We're all sweating our dick off. I'm not trying to be here for 3 hours instead of an hour 45, which I should be able to get this round done in if I'm playing by myself.
Yeah, 1000%.
So I felt like a dick. I'm probably going to
Yeah,
get like a speeding
but
ticket or something, karma because of that. But it was like, dude, I had to say something at some point.
no, and that's I think that's part of the etiquette in itself is holding people accountable out there on the golf course. Like just because like they're new or whatever, it's like for one, go with someone that knows what they're doing.
Yep.
I know, it's like I know sometimes it's tough. Go with someone that knows what they're doing. For one, that can help you, teach you, give you tips, and then obviously teach you how to navigate the golf course properly. And then two, like you fucking that's just how it goes. You got to tell people this shit because if not, like, what are you gonna do? Like, yeah, you're gonna play a 3 hour round. That's crazy.
He would have done that to the next person on the next day if I wouldn't have said something to him. So maybe now he knows, okay, like I'll just go ahead and hit. It was just so weird to me. I was like, dude, a par 4, you're waiting for these people to be off the
Well,
green before
that was
you
what I was gonna
hit.
say. Yeah, waiting for people to clear the green before you drive is just so dumb and so bad. It's like that's horrible.
If it was a real golf course and it was like a busy Saturday, like the ranger would have came up to the guy and been like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
You know, almost better me to say something to him than the ranger.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Um, I get it. It's funny that you say stuff like that because we had this group of kids in front of us, and they were dragging ass, and like they would like put out like gimmies. Like I'm talking like 6 inches. It's like, dude, pick up the fucking ball, bro.
All
Like,
of them.
yeah, there was three of them, and it was me and one other guy, and it's like we're cruising along, and it's like, dude, come on. And only one of the kids knew how to golf. The other two were pretty dog shit. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like they're like sitting there like looking for balls that are obviously gone. And it's like, bro, just get up. And like Norm, who's kind of he was kind of getting pissed. He's like, I'm gonna hit into him. I'm like, no, dude, don't hit into these guys. Like, come on. And like, thankfully, we didn't hit into him. But it's like sometimes like that's the way. Like, how else are we gonna get these people's attention? Is other than just to hit into them, not like try to hit them, but like make it a little bit close. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Um, and then at the
Push.
18th, yeah, at the 18th green. So on the right side of the rough, there was a pond, and Norm hit his first shot into the pond. Then he hit another one, and he fucking sliced the shit out of it, which he doesn't normally do that bad, but it was pretty bad, and it like bounced. I don't know if it bounced over the pond or if it got over the pond and then bounced and died. So we go over to the ball, and we're waiting for these fucks to get off the green, and they like look at Norm. Norm's about to hit his ball, and he like hits it back to the green or towards the green, and the kid goes, "Oh yeah, you can just keep that." And Norm's like, "What are you talking about?" And he didn't say, like, we didn't get a chance to go up there and say anything. The kid thought he picked up one of the dude's extra balls. Norm hit his own ball. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, you can keep my ball," like type shit. It's like, bro, you don't even know where your ball is at, and you're accusing this kid of stealing your ball. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you talking about? Like, pay it. Like, you think we're going to look for your like we just found a ball like the same exact tailor made three? Like no, motherfucker. So
Right.
Norm got fired up and was like, I'm gonna go say something to him, and they didn't have a chance to, unfortunately. But they were like
Damn.
driving on the green, pretty much like right on the fringe. Fucking, there was cart signs where like, oh, no cart path for. What? Something happened? Am I tripping?
No. No,
Oh
we're good.
shit. Um, there was like signs like, hey, no carts past this spot. They were going past it every single time, and it's like, dude, not only you guys being scumbags, you guys stinking or taking forever. It was rough, and it was 95 degrees out. So it's like that's like the complete opposite, right? Like, hey, like don't be like hit into them instead of talking to them on the tee box. So I don't think you're
Yep.
gonna get a speeding ticket.
More of the story. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
shit's
that's
dumb.
there is it's weird how hostile the golf course is
Yeah.
when some shit starts going sideways. It's kind of like it's almost kind of like being on the road.
Yeah.
It's everybody is very quick-tempered on the golf course. It's either very fun, it's like two ends of the spectrum. It's either very lighthearted and joking with like the guys in front of you or behind you and stuff like that, or it's the complete opposite where it's like fuck these guys.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I feel like it's like fucking when it's a busy ass day, like a busy Saturday, and everyone knows you're gonna hit a fucking 4.5 hour round, if not more. Everyone's just like whatever. But it's these like weekday rounds when you think you can go zip through a round and you get caught by the one asshole on the course that's fucking everything up for everyone else. And
Yep.
that's when it's more hostile, I think, than when it's super busy and it's like everyone's waiting. There's foursomes everywhere. It's like, dude, come on.
Yep. Can't do it.
Anyways, can't do it.
It's hot as fuck. It's literally 90 all week. When's the last time that you remember it being 90s for a full week?
I don't know. Probably last year sometime. I'm not sure, but it's fucking hot.
I don't think I don't think it's happened in a while. I don't have any stats to back that up, but I don't remember it being 90s for a full week, like
Yeah,
fucking 6 or 7 days in a row. But
brutal.
people around my office, like I'll be, I'll be in the office for 6 hours and then I'm ready to walk out and I'll say, uh, is it still brutal outside right now? And they'll be like, yeah, it's crazy hot, but I'm not complaining. And I think I'm wondering what the threshold is for where you get to complain about it being hot. Because everybody always says that. Well, I'm not complaining. If you're from the Midwest, you say it's hot, but I'm not complaining every single time. How many months of the year does it have to be cold for you to be able to complain about 90-degree heat? Because we have 6 months of freezing, 6 months of hot ish, or like 4 months of real hot. If we dial it back to 3 months of cold and 9 months of hot, then can we complain about the heat? Where's the threshold, and when can I start bitching about it being 90 fucking degrees outside?
I think like August. I don't think there's a threshold of months. I think when it's been hot for a certain amount of months already, like it's only been hot for a month.
Yeah,
We've only, if that. So it's like, I think it's too early because everyone's like, oh, remember you guys were going to complain about that 30-degree weather? Where it's like, that's so close to us, where it's like, I think at the end of it, where you can be like, God, I'm fucking over this heat, dude. Like it's done. Like I would rather it just give me fall, give me winter when you're like at the cusp of the break.
yeah,
Um, I don't, but I do think though, yeah, I think if it was like you were always hot, you're more inclined to complain about the hot for sure. Like the
you can bitch all the
coasts.
time about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can bitch about it though.
I don't hate August. I don't hate August as a threshold, especially because August is normally like the hottest of the hot month.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like the end of August, you're like, all right, come on, let's turn it down a little bit here, somebody.
And if like football's around the corner, so you're gonna get some fall days pretty soon. So like you can officially complain and be ready for that.
Yeah, like I'm over it.
Yeah. We've also, last winter was so mild, like
Mhm.
nothing, that it almost felt like obviously we had a winter, but it almost felt like we really didn't.
Yeah.
So having this heat hit me this fast makes me think, okay, because we also had a mild winter, I can start complaining about the heat. Because it really wasn't that bad this winter.
True. I feel like the last few winters have been like that, but then we've had like 4 days of each winter that have just been like brutally cold, like record breaking cold, and then the rest of the winters have been extremely mild, which is convenient as hell.
It's nice. Unless you're trying to like snowboard and shit like that, then it sucks for you.
True. That is very true. But you can always go somewhere with synthetic shit. Fucking grow up. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I think that the mild winter gives you a right to complain, because nobody wants the 30-degree and below.
No, nobody wants that. You're right.
Yeah.
Nobody.
So it's like, so nobody wants that, but like and you don't get to complain about like 50 degrees being cold either, though. Like that, you don't get to be like, hey, oh, I want it to be summer. It's 50. It's like, well, shut up. How about that?
50 sick. I think people sleep on 50.
I agree 1,000%, dude. Give me
You wanna go golf? 50 degrees.
maybe
Money.
okay. 50 is a little bit okay. See,
Low?
is a little bit low because that's golf weather. Because you're still in like winter mode when it's that early in your golfing. So it's like you're kind of used to it. But if you gave me like the first day of 50 at the end of the summer, like in fall to golf, I'd be like,
Ooh.
okay, I need to like bundle the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like the winter, like the March 50 and the April 50, that's like you're peeling layers off. Like you're going with a t-shirt at that point.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It is wild because you're right. It's completely different that the October 50 and the April 50 are two ends of the spectrum for sure.
Yeah. It's weird. And like, it's like, you just get so used to it. And everyone's like, well, how are you still not? It's like, bro, when you're I hate when people say that. Oh, it's like this every year in Chicago. Yeah. Well, your body gets used to the fucking weather every year. What the fuck are you talking? It's literal, just it's the most obvious thing on the planet. What the fuck?
My body doesn't know that this just happens every year. It just adjusts with the temperature as it should. Thank God it does that.
Yeah, no shit. That's like jumping into a colder pool, and then after 10 minutes, you're like, all right, it's not that bad. It's like as if you were just to stay in there, and it's that initial freezing all day. Like you would stay in there for no time. What the fuck? It's the same concept. Like,
yeah, it's like, yo, you knew the pool was cold. Your body should be used to it. It's like, no, it shouldn't. My body has to feel it to get used to it. That's the only. You can't just tell it to be used to it.
Yeah, hey, body, we got a month and a half left before it gets prime time cold. Get used to it. No.
Yeah. Start prepping. That's not how it works.
Start taking fucking cold showers and ice baths all day long.
Yeah. I was in Grand Rapids this weekend, and we went and visited Dick and Amber. Shout out to Dick and Amber and little baby Hal. Got to meet her for the first time. But they live on that little lake.
Do they listen to this podcast?
No, they don't.
Okay, Hal is a horrible name. Go on.
Hallie.
Oh, it's a girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Hal from Malcolm in the Middle, like Bryan Cranston Hal. I gotta think that's a sick name. I think you're going the wrong way on that.
I don't know if no, anyways, move on. Let's go back to Grand Rapids. Sorry.
Damn.
We'll talk about Hal in a second.
Okay. I didn't end up, so it was like 81 there, and I didn't end up jumping into the water, and now I have big regrets about it.
In a pool or in a lake?
No, it's a lake, and we're pontooning it. Just hanging out. And normally I jump in. I don't know what my deal was. I don't know why I didn't jump in, because all three of the other guys jumped in. I was the only square that didn't. And they weren't like, hey, get in, you're being a pussy. Like, I'm up on the pontoon, I'm ripping shotguns, I'm doing the gamut. They weren't in for long. They were in for like 10 minutes, but they did get in. Am I a bitch?
I think you're a bitch, just because I feel like I think that's hot enough to get in water.
It was definitely hot enough. And I'm a lake guy. I'm a water guy.
Yeah.
I'm always down to get in. So I don't know what was going on in my brain. I wasn't like, I was in a good buzz at that point. I don't know. I'm a bitch. And I feel like a bitch.
Was it cloudy out or was it sunny out?
It was sunny. It was
Oh
sunny
yeah,
enough to party.
yeah. You got to get in there, dude.
Yeah. I might have Savannah hasn't talked to me, like, too much since the weekend, so maybe she's kinda, like, thinking about some things here, which I don't blame her. But, yeah, good time. Also, shout out to
Yeah.
Al. Shout out
What
to
about
Al.
Al?
I saw Al on Friday, and he invited me to be a groomsman at his wedding in February.
Oh,
I'm
fuck yeah,
psyched on
dude.
that. Yeah.
That's
He did
awesome.
the what do you think about this? He did the pint of Woodford Reserve, and it had the date, Bob Brennan, groomsman. How do you feel about that gift as far as, like, getting invited to a wedding to be a groomsman that way?
I like that. I think it's something that is like I like that a lot. Especially like I have an idea for my shit, and I'll explain it after this, where it's more niche, and then you can kind of give me what you think. But I like especially Woodford Reserve. It's a solid bottle. It's
Mhm.
not cheap. I'm assuming either they went down and got them, or they got them ordered, obviously straight from the fucking factory or the
Yep.
distillery. Um, I like that gift. I think it's good. And it's like you can drink it and be like, hey, this is it. Or you can just never drink that bottle and it's always just like a trophy and it's always just like one of those things. Either
Yeah.
way, you're not an asshole. It's good either way. You know what I mean? Like that's the cool part about the booze where it's like, oh, look at this. And then or you can be like, oh, this was such a good wedding, yada yada yada. Let's fucking drink this shit and
Yeah.
just save the bottle. So it's like
Well,
I
and
like it. I think it's classy.
I agree. I was like, this is the best way to do it because me and Gary were talking about it because he was like asking me about the bottle and stuff, and uh, he was like, my mom was talking about some guy that was giving all his groomsmen like Ridge wallets and like a full pack to invite them to the wedding, and a Ridge wallet's like $60. And I'm like,
Dude,
dude, like
first of all,
doing
original
the
it's like $100, bro. I've
oh, is
seen
it?
they're expensive.
So
Yes, they're like
doing like the
$100.
doing the full like box with a million different things in it and coming to like $150 per guy just to invite them to the wedding is crazy to me.
How many guys is Al
I think there's
putting in
gonna
his?
be 7 or 8 of us.
Okay, I bet you those bottles were $40 to $50 each, though, if not more. Because a normal
Yeah,
bottle of Woodford's like 40, isn't it?
yeah, but
For
it,
a
yeah,
good.
but these were pint bottles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Okay,
just the
fair.
little guys. So even if it was 30 or 40, that's still not a
Yeah,
Ridge wallet and a box full of other shit like that.
yeah,
That just once you're getting over $100, you miss me with that.
yeah. I don't hate that at all, and I do think that a lot of that shit is over the top. It's like, dude, honestly, like you can send me a goddamn text message and I'm cool with
Yeah.
it. You know what I
Like,
mean?
I love you. There's a reason I'm in
Yeah,
your wedding.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you already got me hook, line, and
Like,
sinker. And it's very cool, but totally unnecessary. But yeah, I thought Al did it perfect.
so like Tom, it's funny. So Tom for his wedding, it was our fantasy football draft, and like before the draft, we like did our picks, like who got the first pick, yada yada, and then like after we're done picking everything, he like he was like, "Hey Mike," and he chucked me a football. It was like an NFL football, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I looked, and I turned down, and I turned it over, and it says "best man?" question mark, and it's like, "Oh
Oh, that's
yeah,
sick.
yeah," and it was sick, and I'm like, "God damn!" Like I have the football, obviously, like it got me so good because I was like, "What the fuck?" Like he just chucked the ball at me, thinking like, "Oh, we're doing our fantasy football draft, whatever," and I caught it, and I was like, "Oh, this was really good." But it's like that's so like cheap. Like it's just like, hey, a $40 football, whatever. I think they gave everyone else like a bottle of like a beer that in like a bag and it said like wheat beer crimson. So like something along the same
Yeah,
lines, which it's like, yeah, cheap as like not cheap as fuck, but like good, heartfelt, not expensive. Don't need to get crazy with it. You know, I like that a lot.
me too.
Um,
So what's your idea?
so this is more like I feel like okay, now that you're talking dollar signs, I kind of am like over like kind of like thinking about it.
Well,
Is
if it's cool enough, let's hear you out here.
so because a lot of my groomsmen would be baseball guys, if not,
Mhm.
you know, like maybe like you and shit wouldn't be, but like you enjoy sports, you're a baseball guy. Um, I would want to go to Kentucky because I've fallen in love with Kentucky. I've only been there twice, but I would
Yeah,
like to go.
dude, that's
I
your
love
spot.
Kentucky. I love that place. I want to go to the Louisville Slugger fucking factory and get a fucking Louisville Slugger with everyone's fucking name engraved on it with the wedding date, this and the other thing, and everyone has a fucking bat. Wouldn't that
That'd
be?
be sick.
Yeah,
That'd be really sick. So
yeah.
you would do that without everybody, or you'd bring everybody? Like we'd almost do that like bachelor party, do
So,
Kentucky.
well, so I wouldn't. I don't know. Like I'm obviously not in the situation, so I haven't
Mhm.
put too much thought into it. It would kind of be situational. You know what I mean? Like, hey, can everyone get to Kentucky this day?
Yeah,
No. All right, cool. Then we're not gonna do that. You know what I mean?
right.
But I think that would be sick. Like to get a engraved bat. Um, everyone's got a little man cave and shit like that. Like you can put a bat anywhere.
Fuck yeah, dude! To have a bat with like your name on it, and then have like you and your girl's name, and then the wedding date on it would be
Yeah,
sick.
yeah. That's kind of where my head's at. But who knows? By the time I get married, I don't fucking know. They might be using fucking, I don't know, epoxy bats by then. Fuck, who knows?
Yeah, it's carbon fiber. It's like what? It's like the evolution of hockey sticks.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a dope idea. I've heard nothing but good things about. Like I've seen TikToks on the factory for Louisville
hmm
Slugger too, and it's pretty dope from everything that I've seen.
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it's good too. I've heard it's not that expensive either to like go there and like see. I guess there's a lot of shit you can see, and the amount of models of bats and all that shit is crazy. I heard.
That'd be so fun. I think that's an underrated. I don't know if you've been watching. Have you been watching that Dana Beers and
I've
Eddie
seen a few of them. I've seen a
are
few. I've
doing
seen
that?
seen two of them where they're doing like these like fake bachelor parties.
Yeah, so they're trying to find the best bachelor party destination. And I think Kentucky, I think Louisville would be a slept on spot just because you could do that. You could do the Louisville Slugger tour, and then you could also do like the bourbon tour. And that
Yeah,
would be
so
so fun to do with
yeah,
everybody.
I agree. I think I that's what I'm saying, dude. Kentucky's fucking legit, bro.
People are
I like
sleeping on it.
Kentucky. Yeah, they really are. I'm telling you.
That's sick.
Yeah. Dude, I hit a
Uh,
bird. I hit a bird. First animal I've ever hit in my life. I think there's still feathers in my fucking license plate 'cause I don't want to take them out.
you backed into it?
No, I smoked it going like 85 on a highway.
Oh, front license plate.
Yeah, it swooped
I
down
was
like
like,
that.
this was premeditated. If you backed over this thing, you're a
Yeah.
dick. You don't feel bad at all.
Yeah, in Illinois we have to have front license plates.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
right.
but yeah, like it's you know how birds swoop down and they go back up, and you're like, whoa, this one never went back up. It had a death wish.
Dude,
Boom, smoked her.
how loud was it?
Loud.
Scared the shit out of you?
I mean, I saw it happen, so it didn't scare me at all. But I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit! Poof, and I looked in my fucking mirror, and I saw it rolling on the shoulder, and I was like, oh, that thing is dead as fucking dead can be, man. I felt so bad.
Dude, we were going up north one time
hmm
and it was like raining and you couldn't really see in front of you. We're on the highway, we're on I-75. And we all of a sudden we see these like ducks all like take off in front of us. And this fucking duck smokes the windshield like the loudest like rock in the car that I've ever heard. Shit my pants. I mean, I was probably like 12 or 13, but it was like, holy
Yeah,
shit, we just smoked that duck.
yeah, dude.
It's loud. There's
Yeah,
a
man.
there's a Seinfeld episode that's like this George is in the car with his date. They're not dating or anything, but they were on a first date, and these doves are in the road, and she's like, "Look out, George, you're gonna hit those doves." And he's like, "Oh, they'll get out of the way." And they don't, and he runs them over. And the whole thing's like, "Don't we have a deal with the birds? Like they get out of the way of our cars every time,
Yeah,
and
what the
we
fuck?
don't get mad about them like shitting everywhere."
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And we feed them sometimes. Yeah, like come
Yeah,
on.
like we got to deal with the birds.
Yeah,
So that's crazy. That it's definitely a suicide thing for birds
yeah,
like the one that you hit. That was a death wish.
yeah. I know. I'm like, oh my god, dude. But
Unless it was some Fast and Furious shit where he was like, I'm going under the car.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I've been close before. I'm like, but never. And then this one, like, now I know if I would have ever hit one because it was doof. Like it is hard. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, okay, that thing is fucking dead as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
But
Thank God we don't have big birds. I
I
wonder what
know,
kind of
dude.
birds they hit in Australia. They're probably smoking like full on pterodactyls with their car all
Dude,
the time.
I heard that they eat kangaroo out there recently, and I didn't know that was a thing. It's like their deer.
Really?
I guess, dude. Saw a TikTok video about a dude cooking up some fucking back straps of a kangaroo.
Did you
I
watch
said,
them cook it?
yeah, it looked nice as fuck. It looked good as hell.
Is it good?
I mean, it looked nice. He cooked it. He did like he seared it like a steak.
Yeah.
But I thought kangaroos to the Australians were like cows to the Muslims. I thought they were like sacred.
Yeah, we don't touch those.
Yeah, like I didn't know we ate I didn't know they eat those. I didn't even know they fuck with them. That's wild.
Yeah, I
Weird,
remember
man.
you asking that now in the group chat if there are deer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't believe that there are deer everywhere. I don't believe
I
it.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
There
sure.
must not
So
be in Australia. They must not have got to the island because they're murdering kangaroos left and right. It sounds like
yeah, it's just wild, man.
they're sucking on the toes. They're dunking the toes in ketchup and Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah. Fucking dude, my sister hit a dog once.
Ooh,
Yeah, it
that's
was like
sad.
three lane traffic. She was in the middle lane, saw it coming, couldn't get out of the way because she would have hit somebody else's car. Doof.
No.
Yeah, killed the
Oh,
dog.
that's
Yeah,
brutal.
and she listens to this podcast, so sorry for bringing it up, Shan.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Hopefully people don't get your address because they'd be sending death wishes to your door.
I know, it's wild. Anyway,
Hmm.
you had something you were about to start talking about before I talk about killing animals. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I've started to do something that I'm a little embarrassed about, but it's something that you do, and you actually kind of put me onto it.
What's that?
I've started doing the crumple of the toilet paper and then doing a ring around it.
Yeah, baby.
I really didn't want to tell you. I really didn't. I really wanted to keep that a secret for the next 60 years of my life if I continue to do it. But I figured you deserved to know since it was a point of contention for us when we talked about it the first time.
Yeah, it's not a bad play.
It's not. It's a cleaner play. I'll give you that with my bunch up way that I normally do it. You're not always getting everything, and it takes a couple more unravels of the toilet paper to get everything. So this is a little bit of a cleaner way. If I can do it, I've been doing it. So I thought I'd just give you your flowers there.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I thought everyone wiped their ass like that, but you don't realize that no one knows how everyone else wipes their ass until you start talking about it and realize you're the weirdest guy in the world.
No, yeah, everybody does a different thing.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That's why we need to poll before we do the next bathroom episode. We just need to ask and just
We need
have
to
people submit and be like,
we
"This
need
is
to
the weirdest
somehow
thing that
get
I
on
do."
like we need to get on like Twitter and somehow have it like reach the masses. Like put a poll
Mm-hmm.
on just like a super popular post, even has nothing to do with it, and hopefully 5,000 people see it, and just put a poll, and then hopefully they fucking respond accordingly. You know?
Yeah, you're right. That is what we need to do. We need to take advantage of somebody else is
Yeah,
following and do it
yeah.
that way.
Exactly, dude. Something that has like Trump and Biden in it, something super fucking polarizing, and just put,
Yep.
"How do you wipe your ass?" And then it would, then you're gonna get people like, "Yeah, you fucking Republican, of course you crumple it up," or "Yeah, you fucking liberal fuck, of course," you know.
Yeah, that would be an interesting way to do it. You would get some wild responses doing that way.
I think it'd be fun.
That would be fun. Okay, we'll table that and we'll make sure we do that. Lastly, anything on Celtics winning it? Oilers and Panthers. Oilers kind of made a move last night, but I still have no belief in them. Anything on Celtics first, though? Celtics winning the whole thing?
No, I think we were wrong. I think we were right in the thought of, you know, if there was a glimpse, but if not, it was going to be a rout.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were wishful thinking. They're good.
Yeah.
They're a powerhouse. I mean, just no weak spots. So it was a good.
No.
It wasn't fun to watch. That's for sure. I mean, there was
It
not a
was not fun to watch
it
at
was
all.
not fun to watch at all. So
There wasn't a good series outside of like, I mean, I guess Denver and Minnesota was good. Knicks Pacers had its moments.
Dallas and fucking who they play first, and the Clippers was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I think they went to 7. But
But
yeah, it
since
was
that, it's like been
yeah, it was not a good. It wasn't good.
Jalen Brown MVP. Thoughts on that?
I, I think Jason Tatum got snubbed
You
personally.
think?
Dude, yeah, his points exactly weren't like so. Tatum had the points almost like close to, but like, dude, Tatum was getting like 7 assists. You know, he's getting like almost averaging a triple double. Where it's like, I don't know. Like, I know Jalen Brown was clamping up fucking Doncic, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it,
Yeah,
but
that might have. And I
like,
think what was it, game 3, where Jalen Brown had like 6 in the first half and
and
then
then
like
like
26 in the second
24,
half,
yeah. But
and
the thing was,
basically won him a game.
pretty sure Tatum had like 31 that game also though. So it's like
Yeah.
even though Jalen Brown put the team on his back in the second half and like won them the game, it's like, well, Tatum fucking got them the 20-point lead that they had where Dallas came back from. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a shame. I think that Tatum should have gotten it, but I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter to him. And even Jalen Brown was like, "Oh, this is our MVP. Like this isn't just mine." Which
Yep.
in the on Wikipedia, it's not going to say co MVP, so you're an asshole. But
True.
I do think though that Luca and Connor McDavid are very similar.
Really?
So, starting to realize this because look, okay, go look. So Connor McDavid now he has set like he's set records now. He's got like the most assists in the playoffs. Um, he has like a dumb the most points in a 2 game span in the finals ever. And they're gonna lose. Where it's like Luca has all these like has the most points per game ever in an elimination game situation. He has all these playoff records now with nothing
Mm-hmm.
to show for it. And it's
Right.
like and it wasn't even fucking close. Like, yeah, you got there, but like it wasn't even fucking close. Where it's like the best players in their respective league, and like they're not gonna win, but they have all these like not accolades, but like these stupid little playoff records that don't really mean shit until you win. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like like I don't know. They're starting to put together a very similar resume, if you ask me. Where it's like, one of you motherfuckers, please win, so we can give you a little more of that status in the talks of
Yeah.
the votes.
Do you think either of them will move? You
I
think
don't think
if
Luca will.
McDavid doesn't leave, or if McDavid doesn't win, does he leave? Would Luca ever leave Dallas?
I don't think Luca will ever leave Dallas for a long time. I have no idea about McDavid, honestly. I think now that they're there and they got there and they're kind of I mean, granted 3-0, but they are starting to compete. They've won 2 in a row. Like, I don't know. I think they're just a goalie away. So it's like, why not try? I don't
So,
know. Where is he going to go to be in a better spot? That's the thing.
I mean, you know what my answer is to that.
I know, but is he in a better spot in Detroit than he is in Edmonton? Honestly, just that's an honest question.
Absolutely not. Well, I mean,
Oh, okay.
he's in a better spot, maybe like management wise, putting a team together. But even that's arguable. I mean, Stevie Y, if he doesn't go to the playoffs next week, that boy's on the hot seat. I don't give a fuck if he's our captain. I don't give a fuck if he's my mom. Like, Stevie Y's on the hot seat if you don't make the playoffs 6 years in. Sorry. So I think maybe long term he'd be in a better spot here. But right now, I'm not about to argue that the Red Wings are going to be in the same spot as the Oilers next year after they just went to the Cup final. No shot.
Fair. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll leave. I don't even know what his contract looks like. Is it up? Is that the talk of the town? Like, is he a free agent or what's going on?
No, I don't know. Maybe he's got a couple years left. I'm not sure exactly what his contract looks like. Any chance they make a push here, or do you think Florida's going to cut the head off in Game 6?
I think they need to lock it the fuck down. Stay off the power. Stay off the keep them off
Penalty
the
killing?
power play. Yeah, and just lock it the fuck down, and
Yeah.
really emphasize defense over the next game especially. Like, hey, we're playing defense. That's all we're doing, and then we'll grind a goal out or two when they fuck off and get us on the power play or something.
You want to
Because
hear a real bitch?
what?
So I heard. Well, I was watching yesterday. I was watching Kachuk's pregame presser or whatever, and he basically guaranteed victory. He Messied it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had $31 left in my DraftKings account. I put it all on the Panthers money line yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, Kachuk. This is my guy. We're going to do it tonight. And negative.
Yeah. I put money on them yesterday also. So
They were down 3 puff before I could even have my first drink.
Yep. I put money on them to win by 2 goals. And I was like, sick. Yeah.
Thank God we're rolling into the gambling off season right now because my brain for gambling is just mush.
Oh, I know. And it's just like I'm just putting shit out there to put shit out there at this point because it's like
right.
I won a couple big bets over the last month, and then not even month, last 2 weeks, and it's like, oh, I got 500 in my account, and then I just start slowly blowing it $25 at a time, trying to hit another fat ass bet where it's like, Jesus Christ, man, I did pull 220 of it out or some shit, but still.
That's when it's nice to get back in the football groove where it's like every bet's a unit. Every bet's a unit. Every bet's a unit. Like you're just because there's so much volume that you have to be disciplined.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where right now it's silly season.
And baseball's impossible to fucking bet on.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Few notes to end this thing. We did have a firing here in Detroit. Monty Williams out as the Pistons head coach. I don't think that he wanted to be there after the first week. He saw that we were going to give him the bag. He said, sick, I'll take the bag. And then he got here and he said, this roster is a no bueno. And my management team, no bueno. And the owner, don't even know his last name. Fuck that guy. But Tom Gores, the owner, actually sacked up today and said, we're going to get rid of Monty. I'm going to eat this $60 million or whatever the fuck it was. And we're going to move on, which is good. We moved on from the GM too. So now it's a full on clean slate here. We'll see what happens. But it sounds like some guys in the running are an assistant head coach or an assistant coach in New Orleans. That's supposed to be he was the offensive guru there, I guess, which we desperately need, but we also need some shooters in order to make that work. And then JJ Redick is the other guy that people are throwing out there, but I think that's just because he lives and breathes. JJ Redick ain't coming to Detroit. It ain't happening.
No.
And people on the radio today were like, let's I know it's crazy, but let's call Dan Hurley. Let's just see what happens. I was like, dude, if he's not going to L.A., he sure as hell ain't making the jaunt over here to Detroit to pick up the pieces of this mess.
Yeah, and you're not offering him $70 million either, where it's he already turned down
negative.
$70 million.
Yeah, we're not the next. Monty Williams already got $70 million. I can guarantee you the next guy ain't getting $70 million. This is going to be a trial and error process from here on out.
Yeah, I think Monty Williams is spent. I think he's not a good coach. I think it's pretty much shown this.
So weird, too, because, everybody loved him in Phoenix, supposedly. He was, the guy, but he got fired. So it was what's going on?
He got fired, 2 years after he went to the fucking finals.
Yeah. And it's why? There was a reason.
Fucking routed. That's why. Because I don't know.
Yeah. And so there was a reason, and you must be right. It must be the end of the road for Monty. Last note before we get into some 20s, Willie Mays died.
Oh yeah.
Thoughts, prayers out to Willie Mays.
Yeah.
93. One of those guys that if you would have said Willie Mays died 10 years ago, I would have been like, yep, 100%. No offense to Big Bill Mays, but you could have told me he was dead 10 years ago, and I would have been like, yeah, maybe he could have died in the 80s for all I know. I don't know.
He could have died 30 years ago, bro.
That's just one of those where it's I don't know. Is Babe Ruth still alive too? I don't know what the fuck's going on now. Who's living?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I was like, oh, cool, confirmed. I didn't know that.
Damn. All right. Yep.
Yeah.
But it's just that catch. That's all I think about when I think Willie Mays. But he also hit 660 home runs. You forget that part of Willie Mays' game. Crazy.
Yeah, you forget that he was like a dog. Yeah, a dog.
It just said everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just researching him more today. He played in the 50s, 60s. He retired in like 73 or something like that. So it was way before our time. But good. I mean, it wasn't like Babe Ruth ball in the 20s where this guy's hitting 600 home runs. Like, he hit home runs against Sandy Koufax, Bob Gibson, like legit pitchers in the 60s and 70s. So to hit 600 home runs is a hell of a feat, and for everybody to just forget about it because of how good of a defender you are is even crazier. So shout out to Big Bill Mays. I'm sorry that I didn't know that you were still alive.
Yeah.
I was listening to Pick Central today, and Rico was on there, and he was like, that should be a category on the dozen, dead or alive. Because I feel like a lot of people are like, no idea.
That wouldn't be a bad one, honestly. That's funny.
Could be a good trivia category, dead or alive.
Yeah, that it would be a good one. I'm going to I'm going there tomorrow to the finals.
Yeah, pretty that's excited. Gonna be awesome.
I'm pretty butthurt that fucking Big Cat's not gonna be competing though.
Yeah, the Yak would have been a fun team. Hey, the Booze Ponies though, baby.
Yeah, the Booze Ponies without Feidelberg though.
Feidelberg on Zoom. On Zoom.
We'll see.
Supposedly.
Yeah, they said because Jeff D. Lowe at the end was like, "Oh, they might be playing with 2 players on Thursday," and I'm like, "Oh man, that kind of suck."
Yeah, that can't happen. They need a third, or Fights has to zoom in.
And Fights is like their entertainment guy, so like if they don't have him, they're gonna be fucked without him for the entertainment shit. But we'll see.
They're so electric. How hot they've been has been so fun to watch.
Yeah,
if you're not watching the Dozen Trivia, tune into that. It's literally like my favorite show.
Yeah.
Like I could watch it all day long.
The live version, so the live shit is to me so much better, but I love this live shit, man. Like it's great.
It's electric. Yeah, you're going to have a ball.
Oh, I know. I'm excited.
20s before we get out of here, Barry Sanders.
That's a pretty fucking good one. That's pretty rock solid.
Was Brandon Saad 20?
I was gonna say Brandon Saad was 20 for the Hawks. I know that. Who's the number 20?
Maybe 20 in basketball. I feel like it's like 19. We talked about this with 19 too. Not a basketball number. I feel like 20 also not a basketball number.
No, definitely not a basketball number. I feel like it's a football number. There should be more 20s.
It's probably a million running backs. Was Frank Gore 20 or was he 24 or something?
He was 21. There's 1,021s, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. There's probably like some.
DB, oh yeah, because
Dion was 21 too.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have some good ones for next week.
Yeah,
I think Robert Lang for the Red Wings might have been 20. Let me look this up quick. This is bad radio, but I really want to know this.
All right, I looked up the list for this because I literally have no. I got a couple of names that we're gonna drop that we're gonna be very upset with. So Ed Reed.
Oh, he was 20.
Yeah,
that's tough. Robert Lang was 20. Get the fuck out of here. For his whole career?
I don't know about. I don't think so. But number 20 in Boston, he was.
He was something else with the Heat.
Probably. Comparable to Ed Reed, Brian Dawkins, like the 2 best safeties of our whole generation.
Yikes.
Those are bad. Mike Schmidt. Manu Ginobili was number 20.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's probably like 1 of 1 for basketball.
Gary Payton was number 20, but that's before our time.
Okay, that was before our time. Shout out the glove. My dad loves Gary Payton.
Last but not least, another DB that we probably could have gotten, Rondé Barber.
I'm not pulling Rondé Barber for that one.
Not that many notable 20s, though. Like, there's no running backs other than Barry that are 20, so I'm not as pissed off about this.
Okay.
I'm not that upset.
What was Tiki Barber?
Tiki Barber was 21 as well.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Let's cut the end of this and just put it at the beginning of next week's episode.
Also, we need to get So I looked on YouTube that 118 wasn't up either on YouTube. So we need to get that episode up. I don't know where it's at.
Our producer's fucking slacking. We need to hire
Well,
somebody full time.
you might get a 2-for-1 this weekend, boys and girls. Might be some outdated shit though, because it's from
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's still fun. We got to do we'll draft next week,
Okay.
but that'll wrap it up for episode 120. Summary: Mike didn't go on his date. It's hot as fuck outside, and I am wiping my ass differently. Thank you again for joining us on the Fair Enough podcast. We love you guys, and we will see you next week.
Ciao.
Peace.